Hello everyone, it's Joshua with Live For You Counseling. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'd love for you to join our growing community where we talk about mental health, self-development, and spirituality. If you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button so that you don't miss anything that we have coming up on our channel. Now let's get to our topic today. So I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and watching videos on other social media platforms that talk about negative experiences with therapy. And one of the things that came up as I was watching many of those videos was that perhaps it was a negative experience because it wasn't the right fit. Fit does matter in therapy. Finding the therapist that embodies what we need is crucial because if we fail to do that, we will not build connection. Connection is one of the key principles to making progress in therapy. Think of it this way, right? Therapists are different from many other providers. Like with heart surgeons, they can put you under and operate on your heart and you wake up fixed. But with therapy, it's much more complex in the sense that we need your active engagement, your participation, your honesty, your connection in order to be able to help you. And that's not something that you can force. So I'm going to go over a few steps that you can take to find the right fit. Steps I would say to do is engage in self-reflection. Think about what you're looking for. What kind of goals do you have in treatment? Because not all therapists will be able to help you reach those goals. And along the lines with reflecting on what your goals are, think about the specialization of a therapist. So if you're presenting with trauma, it would be a good idea to go to a therapist that specializes in trauma as opposed to a therapist that, only has experience working with depression and anxiety. Another thing to think about are, the aesthetics of our therapists. So that can be traits of their personality, their physical makeup. All of those things are important to consider. So like you might feel comfortable with a therapist that's a male or a therapist that's a female. A therapist that speaks more in a more sophisticated tone or a more conversational tone. One of my favorite social media influencers in the realm of mental health, she said when she was looking for her next therapist, she wanted someone that was very calm and someone that was kind of like a hipster and someone a little bit older. So those things kind of helped her to pinpoint the therapist that she wanted. And I believe she even did a free phone consultation before she even had the appointment so that she could fill out the therapist and ask some more questions. It never hurts to do a free consultation if they offer it. Another important aspect to consider is your worldview. I find that we all have different beliefs and different values, and for those of us that are religious, some of us may want a therapist that identifies with the particular religious views that we ascribe to. I know when I went back into therapy, one of the things that was important for me was finding a therapist that identified as Christian because I'm a Christian. So like for you, depending upon whatever your spirituality or religious identity is, you might want a therapist that shares some of those same values. Another thing to consider is affordability, right? Some of you watching this video may be rich, but many of you, have different financial situations. So you have to look at, does the therapist that I want to work with, are they in network with my insurance? Or if you don't have insurance, is it affordable self-pay scale? Can I actually afford going to therapy if I'm paying out of pocket? That's an important consideration because you don't want to start services and then have to abruptly end services. I think that if you jot down some of these ideas on paper and engage in some self-reflection, that can help you to pinpoint a better therapist for yourself. We are fortunate also to have platforms like BetterHelp and Psychology Today where you can kind of look at profiles of different therapists and filter through different things that you're looking for in treatment. So as I said with my last video, this is not the end all be all. There are so many other ways to go about this, but I do think that these are some good starting helpful tools to help you navigate finding a good therapist. If this video at all resonated with you, please share this video with anyone that you want to encourage to take the first step to therapy. And don't feel like you have to figure everything out. I know that I made a big deal of things being in a therapeutic relationship, finding the right fit, but it's not an overnight process, and sometimes it's some trial and error with it, you know. Sometimes you may have to go through many different therapists before you find your right fit, and that's okay. Be patient with the process. You will get there. And another bit of wisdom I want to give you is sometimes you may want some of these things, you know, when I was going over the different characteristics of a therapist, but sometimes you might need something else. I remember when I was in college, I had an idea of what I wanted in a therapist, but then I ended up getting a therapist that was a little bit on the other side of the spectrum. I called her the reality therapist. She kind of was like a bulldozer and really knocked down all of the distorted thoughts I had and grounded me, but I needed that at that moment. So sometimes therapy may not feel good, especially if you're dealing with some heavier issues where you need that confrontation. Sometimes your therapist may not give you that sense of like, oh, I feel warm inside. We each need different things, so be open. I'm not saying that your therapist should be beating you up or putting you down, but there's different styles and approaches to therapy, and you have to do your own soul searching to figure out what is best for you. At the end of this video, again, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel because there's so much information I would like to share with you. And please feel free to comment below because this is not a one-sided discussion. I would love to hear your feedback on what you thought resonated with you in this video. And thank you again for stopping by this channel. I'm Joshua with Live For You.